Keke Jabbar's family released her cause of death, and things are not adding up. Kiki died July 2nd. The family releases cause of death July 3rd, 24 hours after she died. Did they get an autopsy that quickly? Within 24 hours? They gave the statement to a YouTuber by the name of Jabar Jenkins, but I'm going to be reading from a Deadline article. Basically the same thing the YouTuber said. Things are not making sense. The timeline is not making sense at all. Before we get to the questions, let's go through the statement from the family and the cause of death given by the family. So, for you reality TV lovers or those that follow Love and Marriage Huntsville heard the unfortunate news that 42-year-old Keke Jabbar died on July 2nd. She was so young. She has kids, she has a mother, she has sisters, and she has a husband. So let's read some parts of the article by Deadline. The title is Keke Jabbar's family friend addresses death of Love and Hip Hop Huntsville star. Keke Jabbar, a reality TV personality featured on Love and Marriage Huntsville, died at the age of 42, and a close friend is sharing details of what caused her death. YouTuber Jabar Jenkins, who featured Jabar on her live streams frequently, is setting the record straight on the reality TV star. She says, Kiki did not overdose. Kiki did not take her own life. Kiki loved life. Kiki was not ready to live life. She wasn't ready to leave her family, her friends, and husband. So, Kiki did not overdose. Kiki was allegedly known to have an addiction problem and that she was taking medication to help her get clean.
I was addicted to prescription pain medication. I had, these surgeries. I was on pain pills 2 months straight. After I couldn't get any more, the doctor wouldn't prescribe me anymore, and I had never taken any kind of drugs in my life. I did do things that I should not have done, like take pills from other people.
You were addicted.
So there were also people thinking maybe she just unalived herself because maybe addiction, maybe mental health, maybe problems in her life. Nope, that was not the situation. She did not overdose and she did not take her own life. But they also established that Kiki is sleepy. She would fall asleep anywhere, okay? Whenever she felt sleepy, it didn't matter where she was, she fell asleep. They said she would go to sleep wherever. In this, we learn that Kiki went to her sister's house. She left her sister's around 4 a.m. in the morning. So she drives home. She gets home. It says she turned her car off and she fell asleep. Her car was not functioning and there was something already wrong with the car. Keep that in mind. They are establishing certain things before they tell us the cause of death. They've told us she did not overdose. She did not take her own life. That she's sleepy. She falls asleep wherever. She feels tired. She feels sleepy. She's gonna sleep. And that she left her sister's home around 4 a.m. July 2nd. She drove home. She turned off her car and she fell asleep. They also let us know that her car was not functioning. There was something already wrong with her car. So there was an issue with the car that they already knew about. This was not something they learned about after her death. This was a non-issue with her car, okay? Then around 7-something in the morning, her husband goes to the garage. He sees Kiki. He thinks she's asleep in the car. He tries to get her attention. I guess she's not responding. He opens the car up. She's not breathing. Her husband, her life partner, her best friend tried to bring his wife back, the mother of his children, and he couldn't. Kiki passed from carbon monoxide poisoning. That's it. That's all. There you have it. That's the cause of death. Carbon monoxide poisoning, okay? She went on to say, my sister didn't want to leave this earth. She didn't want to leave her children. She didn't want to leave her husband. There was no turmoil going on in her life. She had a lot of great things to look forward to. And that's the end of the article. So, she did not unalive herself. The addiction did not take her. She was visiting with her sisters, left her sister's home at 4 a.m., drove to her own home, drove into the garage, closed the garage door, turned off the car, fell asleep in the car. Husband comes to the garage 7 a.m. in the morning, sees his wife Kiki asleep in the car, opens the door, tries to wake Kiki up. She's not waking up, tries to resuscitate, I suppose, because they say he tried to bring his wife back. It was not working. She's not breathing. Then they say she died from carbon monoxide poisoning. The statement in itself sounds defensive, and maybe it's because of the many things people are saying online. And also it's maybe because of the issues that she herself, Kiki, has addressed that she has, such as addiction. But anyway, so let's get to the questions this statement brought about. Cause of death. It's unusual for an autopsy to come out in 24 hours. That was really quick. She died July 2nd. July 3rd, when this YouTuber goes to her channel, she's telling us the cause of death. She got this information from the family that carbon monoxide poisoning was what took Keke Jabbar's life. The question is, has there been an official autopsy or toxicology report to confirm that carbon monoxide poisoning is the cause of death? Maybe the family got the report within 24 hours. I just thought that was very quick for them to get an autopsy report that fast. They didn't say if what they were telling us came from an autopsy, what they found in her blood from the toxicology report, right? Vehicle condition, her car. There was already a known problem with the car. They don't tell us what the problem is. We can assume it had something to do with the exhaust. Usually, when people die from carbon monoxide in a garage, it's usually because of leaking from the exhaust. But also remember that most garages, the air does not circulate there. There's no proper ventilation in the garage. So even when there's nothing wrong with the car, as long as your car is running and you're sitting in an enclosed space, you are at a very high risk of getting carbon monoxide poisoning. But they told us there is already something wrong with the car. But here's something else. They say that she turned off her car. Usually when people die from carbon monoxide in a garage, it's because the car is running. It's unusual, not impossible, for someone to get carbon monoxide from a car that is turned off. I was thinking, when she drove home, gets into the garage, is it possible that she's running the car for maybe 20 minutes? She's sitting in the garage for whatever reason, maybe going through her phone, maybe talking to her sisters, or maybe talking to her friend. Whatever the reason may have been, remember the garage door is closed. And the car already has a problem. So let's assume it's the exhaust, right? Carbon monoxide comes from the burning of fuel. So the levels are rising within the garage. Maybe that then makes her feel sleepy, right? She's feeling drowsy. She's feeling sleepy. Then she decides, let me turn off the car. And she falls asleep without knowing that that drowsiness is actually coming from the carbon monoxide. And that's another thing that stuck out to me. She knows the car has a problem and she still decides to sleep in the car. It's very unusual. Why not just walk into the house, right? That is very, I don't know. And then why didn't somebody drive her home? Or why didn't she just stay over at her sister's for the next 3 to 4 hours, right? Why didn't her husband go pick her up at 4 a.m. in the morning? To me, the choice to sleep in a car in a garage rather than walking into the house is puzzling. Even if she was extremely tired, it seems unusual to choose the car over a bed and a couch. The other questions were medication. If true that she was allegedly on a medication to manage or get rid of her addiction, some of these medications are known to cause drowsiness. So these medications may have been a contributing factor. Timeline of events. What happened between July 1, 7 a.m. to July the 2nd, 7 a.m. when her husband found her? Who was the last person to speak or see Kiki before her husband found her? What happened? What was happening? What was happening at her sister's house? Their own statement is what has raised these questions. Okay, now I also think this is a lesson for the rest of us to have carbon monoxide detection system in the car, in the garage, so that we don't find ourselves in such situation. It's easy to think you are falling asleep when you're actually getting poisoned by carbon monoxide. So that is one of the things that could explain, maybe she thought she was feeling sleepy and it was just an unfortunate accident. Addiction goes hand in hand with mental health. It messes with your brain. It can make you feel good sometimes, and it can make you feel lousy sometimes. There may have been some underlying issues that we, the public, did not know about. She was very public, allegedly, about her addiction, the struggles that she was having with addiction.
And they were moving super slow. When I'm telling these people, look, I'm really in pain. I'm feeling really sick. Like, please help me. I'm literally begging these people, help me. Look, I'm nauseous. This medicine y'all gave me is not working. Y'all see, I keep throwing everything up. Give me something stronger.
Maybe there were issues there that may have affected how she perceived things, right? But they established that she loved life. She did not want to live this life. She did not want to leave her children, and she did not want to leave her husband. But look, mental health is very important, guys. And the other thing I saw online is, why did it take so long for the husband to check on the wife? The assumption is that the husband knows his wife is at her sister's home. And it's quite odd that she was at her sister's that late or that early in the morning. If your wife, we are assuming in a normal functioning marriage, your wife is telling you, I'm leaving my sister's home, right? So around 4 a.m. He knows how long the drive would take. So let's say maybe the distance between the two homes, her sister's and her own home, let's say it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. However long it is, the husband knows. He can estimate how long it's going to take her to get home. So your wife is not in bed with you. So you would think that if your wife is not home by 5:45, why isn't she home? And they've established that she's sleepy. She falls asleep wherever. So you would check the other rooms in the house to see if she's sleeping there. If she's not anywhere inside the home, you would then go to the garage to see if her car is there. And in this situation, he would have found the wife asleep in the car, according to their statement. And just maybe there would have been enough time. Just maybe. We don't know. But let's assume her car is not there. You would think, okay, let me call my sister-in-law. Did Kiki leave? Yeah, Kiki left. Isn't she home? No, she's not home yet. Then you would think the husband would then track back, drive the path that he knows the wife would drive home to see if something happened. Maybe the car broke down. Instead, they tell us that around 7 something in the morning, he found the wife in the garage. Did they have an argument maybe? That's why she was at her sister's that late or early in the morning? So maybe that's why he didn't check on her? We don't know. Is there an ongoing investigation to rule out any foul play or maybe any other causes? Maybe it's easy to assume that it was carbon monoxide, but maybe there was something else in her blood. I'm sure an official autopsy is being done, but I'm just saying this was just a quick turnaround for the family to say monoxide poisoning. And if it is true, it's kind of, why didn't she get in the house when she got home? Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Until the next one, bye.